On Tuesday, 25th February, the Electoral Commission issued a notice appointing dates for the remaining various elective positions in the 2016 general elections. Out of the 7 categories, elections for workers MPs was omitted on account that the law governing the election of representatives of workers to Parliament was amended. The statement further noted that some of the new provisions pose operational challenges which require further consultation with the stakeholders to implement them. For example, the consideration of non-unionized workers to participate in the elections. The Electoral Commission, however, said that it would update all stakeholders on the progress of these consultations and issue guidelines and dates for the elections in due course. But NOTU says that it is a deliberate move by the government mafia conniving with the Electoral Commission to silence workers' representation in Parliament.
The issue of our representation in Parliament, I would call that there are some mafias within the country who feel that workers being strong is a problem to them. Because you have seen what happened and we protected our money very well. Now when you look at the representation at Parliament and at the district, strengthen the workers' bargaining power, which some people don't want. But we must resist that.
On his part, Wanzusi Robert, the General Secretary, National Union of Infrastructure Civil Workers and Woods Workers, said the Electoral Commission must put a halt to misusing its mandate.
The Commission, even when we have just 10 days remaining as to when the election is going to be conducted, the press release made is simply showing that they are going to conduct elections for every other interest group. But for workers, we don't know whether the election will take place. We even visited the office of the Secretary of the Electoral Commission, engaged with him, given press statements to appeal to them to ensure that they rise up and take action. Surprisingly, the answer we got is we don't know whether we can conduct the election. Now, our rights, I know very well, as workers, as trade unions, have always been trampled upon, even things which are obvious. But one thing the government or anybody else in authority must understand is that our rights will always fight for them. If these elections are not conducted, nobody should think that they are doing us a favor to be members of Parliament.
Asked whether any engagement with the Electoral Commission and indeed the government had been undertaken, Mauku Moses, a workers' representative aspirant, said all engagements have failed.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development have a duty to conduct the elections for the non-unionized workers who shall join the unions to elect the workers' MPs to Parliament. That exercise has not taken place, and it is a countrywide exercise. But the rules provide that there must be a time frame, against which we see ourselves that we are late. So we are wondering what is actually going to happen within the remaining 10 days. All engagements have not yielded good fruits, and we are going to now institute all types of methods that we can use as workers to ensure that we have our rights respected by the authorities that be. That is what we can also say.
Mulumba Mafias, a founder member of the Civil Society Workers Union, complained that the 10 days by the Electoral Commission to organize their elections is not enough for them, since a national-wide process that requires more time instead of a rush.
10 days. But yet we have to go to the sub-counties, each of the sub-counties in Uganda, for them to elect representatives to the district level, and then we get 10 regional representatives. That's the new law, and we can't have shortcuts about that. So if it's 10 days left, when shall we do all this process and then have the delegates conference and then also elect the members of Parliament? We are really very concerned, and we're saying I think they're taking us for granted. We must fight for the workers' rights, and this is why some of us have come up to spearhead this.
NOTU now wants the Parliament and the Executive to exercise the oversight function, not to allow the Electoral Commission disenfranchise workers of their rights to representation.